Hey, brother. Hey. Hey. How can you be heard?
Quiet, please.
How can you be heard? Yeah. You cannot be heard. You cannot be heard.
Hello.
Mr. Ryan.
Ladies and gentlemen, we cannot learn anything by everyone talking at the same time. We want to hear what they have to say. Then whatever action you take, then you take it, but it gives them a chance to talk, because we can't solve anything with all of us talking at the same time. If you want to solve the problem, you cannot, ladies and gentlemen, you cannot. You cannot solve the problem by making problems. So let's not make problems. Let's try to solve this problem now.
Mr. Ryan, if you could answer the question the best you can.
Mr. Lawson is correct. I was there that evening, that morning. I did not interview the officer. I am not aware of the officer's interview. Those interviews were conducted by the criminal investigators, and they were supervised by high-ranking members of the organization. We certainly are not going to accept only the police officer's explanation for why this happened, and that's the reason that it's presently being investigated, so that we can get all sides of the story. I've heard...
No, they got it. Come on, man. Come on.
Mr. Lawson says that Mr. Lawson says that he has witnesses that can contribute to this that we've not interviewed. We'd like to interview them. There's a lady standing in front. There's a lady standing in front of me who says that she's aware of what happened. We need to talk with her. We again are not simply going to take the police officer's word for what happened out there. That's the investigative process. That's the duty that we owe to you, the community.
Yeah, tell him to come up here and say something. We want an answer.
Mr. Chair. Mr. Ryan.
Said, not why he fired, but what he said.
If I could, hey.
We got this report. I mean, we got all these facts.
If I could,
can't we just?
if I could ask one question, and that is, we're not, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Lawson, but I think the question is not what's going to happen in a court of law or what's going to happen in procedure, but simply what did the officer say
Yes.
was his reason.
And I know he knows the answer.
And I mean,
Quit.
I mean, I think,
Let him, Mr. Chairman, if he can come forward. If he, Mr.
I mean, I think that's a legitimate question to be asked.
That's what we want. That's what we
Mr.
want the
Chairman.
answer to.
Mr. Cranley.
Hold on, y'all be quiet.
Mr. Cranley, excuse me. I've had an extensive conversation yesterday, conversation yesterday with Captain Demasi about the progress that's been made in the investigation of this case. I asked her after speaking with Captain Demasi and being apprised of the situation, the incident that occurred, and I'm also aware of statements that were made by officers who were there present. In my best count, there were about 6 officers who were there. I felt that it was necessary to discuss the case with the prosecutor. I met this morning with the prosecutor, Mike Allen, and his senior assistant, who's Tom Longano. All the investigative files were subpoenaed by the grand jury. We believe that the grand jury process in the prosecutor's office is the best way for us to conclude this investigation. It takes it out of the hands of the police department. That's based partly in reason because of concerns expressed by citizens in the past of whether or not the police can police themselves. So I have contacted the prosecutor's office and met with them and turned over all the evidence that we have up to this point. I also have a call in trying to make contact with the resident agent in charge here of the FBI to also request a federal investigation be conducted also into this incident.
What'd you say about the FBI, Chief?
Miss,
I didn't hear that. What'd you say about the FBI?
I'm trying to contact the local agent in charge to request a federal investigation also be began. No, because it's all going to the grand jury process. I can simply say that he reacted to a perceived threat.
Chief.
Mr. Cranley, I know that the question is asked exactly what the officer did say. That material was turned over to the grand jury. As such, no, wait. Okay. I can. I can tell you, I can simply say to you that I can tell you that the officer's statement is that he reacted to what he perceived as a threat from the other person. The exact words I don't have here. That's what the officer's statement basically is, that he's reacting to what he perceived as a threat from the person that he was chasing. The exact words I don't have here with me because I haven't had the opportunity to read them or see that. I don't.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on, man.
Chief.
I'm not asking for his exact words, but did he say that he thought he saw a gun, or that?
I haven't read the statement, Ken. This is what I've been briefed on by homicide. I haven't read the statement. It's been turned over. The exact threat that it was.
If he felt threatened, what happened to officer need assistance?
Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I have a question for the chief. You had indicated, Chief, you indicated that you have not read the statements or read the materials. How are we turning over stuff to the grand jury and the chief hasn't had a chance to read it?
I get briefed. I was given a synopsis of the investigation. My estimation was at that point it was in the best interest of fairness to turn it over to the prosecutor at that point. I think that there's more investigation has to be done, and I know of the legalities that are involved here. I don't have the expertise to be the best judge of that. I need some legal help, and that's where I went to the prosecutor because it's a criminal investigation. I think that's the fairest thing to do.
I thought as basically as our chief, we depend on you, and I would hope that this is a serious matter. We're talking about a life, that you would at least have, read the information and have an understanding before turning it over.
Oh, I do have I have a very good understanding of it. I guarantee you I have a very good understanding of it. That's why I turned it over to the prosecutor.
Okay, but you just said in your understanding you couldn't answer.
I said I don't have the exact words.
I'm not asking for the exact
I don't have
words.
the exact words here with me. I've turned that over.
Yeah. One other question. I guess one other question that the mother had brought to our attention, I think, is real important. One other question that the mother had indicated before you came forward, and I'm glad you're here, and I hope Kent Ryan is not hiding back there, but stay close. The mother said that she had not been notified, and in the report it says she was notified, but it didn't say when. Did she get notified after it was on TV? There was some discrepancy on whether or not the mother was given the respect of being notified prior to finding out about it on TV. Do you have, in your report, from reading the report, do you have the time and the person who was exactly responsible for reporting it to her? And if it was not reported to her, are you going to find out about it?
I can't hear what you're saying.
You can't hear me?